right, students, here we are with our Part B notes of Unit 1, Section 2. So what is scientific notation? And this is something you might already know from your science classes or from previous math classes. The IB also calls it standard form, which I just find super bizarre. Most of the time, they're going to give you hints about scientific notation and what it is. And most of the time, the way they're going to give you hints is that they're going to tell you that these are numbers in the form of a times 10 to the b, where a is a number that's between 1 and less than 10. So they're going to write that as 1 less than or equal to a less than 10. So this means a is any sort of number, any sort of real number. And let me make that 1 a little bit better. So any sort of real number, decimals, whatever, as long as it's between 1 and it can be equal to 1, but it has to be smaller than 10. And then b is an element of our integers. And so positive or negative counting numbers. And there's my sort of integer sign. So this is my hint that standard form is a number. Basically, I'm taking a really big number and writing it without all its zeros, or I'm taking a really small number and again writing it without all its zeros. Because if I think of 10 to a power, so let's think of like 3 times 10 to the 5th. Well, 10 to the 5th is the same as 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, which is the same as 3 times 1 with 5 zeros, which ends up being a 3 with 5 zeros. Oops. So I've taken this really big number, 300,000, and I've written it in a shorter, more scientific form. Let's look at a really big one on our calculator and see what happens. So let's clear this off. So let's take our 300,000 and let's multiply it by a really big number. Let's say 25 million. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 would give me 25 million. Let's see what happens. So our calculator has created scientific notation as well. So let's drag this over here. And what we see over here is that our calculator has basically written scientific notation, except it got rid of the times 10 and just wrote the power. So the e means our exponent, but what this really means is 7.5. Won't you let me write on top of that? 7.5 times 10 to the power 12 is really what the e is saying. So let's highlight that and match up the parts. So the e is saying times 10 to the power. So anytime we see that in our calculator, we know that our calculator has made scientific notation because your number wouldn't fit on the screen. So this is going to end up being 7.5 times a 1 with 12 zeros. That means the 0.5 is going to take away one of those 12 zeros. And what we're really going to end up with is, so 7.5 times 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6. Ah, goodness. Stop. 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. When I multiply that out, I'm going to end up with 11 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 zeros is what's going to happen. So I lost that one decimal place with one of these zeros. All right. So I'm going to stop the video here with the definition of scientific notation and do another video with these two examples. See you there.